the Springboks' second game in that autumn series against England. Another win for the Springboks. 29-20 against England. England losing a third match in a row after New Zealand and Australia. What did you make of the Springboks' performance in that one?
Not the best in terms of how clinical we can be. Not the best in terms of decision making. Sometimes I think the ball could have gone through hands quicker or further down the line, so we involve our backs more. Because I think there were moments in the game where there was space to exploit. Right. Also, not everyone played particularly well, but the guys that shone reminded us of their quality. I think obviously Cheslin Kolbe was just magic. Right. Jasper Wiese, hats off to him on that day, because obviously he didn't cross the try line like Kolbe did, but what a shift, what an immense talent, and I think he staked a very good claim for a spot in that jersey. Damien Allende, you remember, that's why he was said to be one of the best centers in the world, because he does things like that. Grant Williams, not at that level, but definitely better off than Jaden Hendrickse. I think not only the try scoring and him with the quick feet, but I just think that quick ball, that part of his game where you're thinking, I don't know what's about to happen next. Whereas I think Hendrickse was a bit more predictable against Scotland. So I think those players stood out. So I think all in all, I think as a cohesive unit, I think that's what you want from your team, right? Because you want to have those moments of magic, those moments of brilliance, but you want to win the game in the end. Because I felt with Marcus Smith against Australia that he did not deserve to be on the losing side because he played so well. He put in another shift against the Springboks, to no avail, because there just wasn't enough to back him up. And I think with what we have in the Springboks is that come rain or shine, good day, bad day, we're gonna pull it through. And ultimately, that's what makes us world champions. That, I mean, against England in the World Cup, England started very well. Against France played a good game, but in the end, the poachers know how to bring it home. And so I think that's the difference in the end, Oguti. Even though our discipline cost us towards the end of that game, not too much so, because England could not punish us because they couldn't come to the party. So I think, Jay, I'm happy that we're still winning. The momentum keeps going on, and we still keep building. But I think question marks over a couple of players, but overall, can't complain too much.
Yeah, where England are concerned, Marcus Smith was just brilliant. The kind of form that he's showing justifies why he's playing at number 10, and ahead of maybe someone of the style of a George Ford, and it's justified, right? And he also can kick for goal. So that's a plus for him, that he can run the game, and he's a running fly half, and he's also able to keep the points going with his kicks for Paul, right? And also on the England side, which was a positive for them and a negative for us, man, they abused our short kings at the back there. Freddie Stewart was a man amongst boys, literally in the air with those high balls. Yeah, they're called contested kicks, but there was just no contest. Fortunately for us,
I interject, Joe, I think if Fussy stepped up, I think he didn't have the best game at 15. If he was winning more of those balls, maybe. Because I think when I saw Pollard coming in, he was claiming those balls from the sky with confidence. I was like, Fussy, isn't that what you do on a regular basis? If that happened, maybe we change things, or the tide at least.
It didn't though, right? It didn't, and England, Freddie and those boys were feasting on those high balls. As I'm saying, fortunately for us, other than that, he doesn't really have much to his game, which is why there's calls for him to maybe play as an inside center rather than as a fullback, because also defensively, and that showed in that try. Maybe it's unfair to say that he conceded, but he was the last man. He was the man facing up to Grant Williams, and Grant Williams just like stepped him out of his boots, which then brings me to the Springboks. Grant Williams, to begin with, that's the X factor he gives you at scrum half. That at any given time he can go off like that, shoot out of a cannon, and it's the points, right?
Can we say? Sorry to interrupt you yet again, because I mean, Springboks, right? We're on the other side of the coin versus the Proteas. He's finally put his game together. I think this is the first time where we've seen everything that we've hoped Grant Williams can do for the Springboks, and I think it's come to the fore in this particular game.
Yeah, in this game, that was maybe his best version. Well, actually, he played brilliantly against Scotland as well. When he came in against Scotland, we didn't see any of those like darting runs. But what we did see is the fast ball out of the ruck, and because our ruck area is a bit of a mess at the moment, and the other teams like loose trios and their forwards are dominating that part of the game. So you do need your scrum half to go in there and get that ball out as quickly as possible, which he showed us against Scotland. Then again in this match. And what I think the takeaway for me, like with that Grant Williams performance and try, is what we relied on quite a bit in this match was individual talent. Because when you do consider the tries, there is that Grant Williams try. There's 2 blocked kicks to lead to a try.
That
First
one's
Eben,
crazy.
and then it's Peter Steff, and then it's the try. And then you've got Chislin doing Chislin things, right? The first try is, again, the individual brilliance of Mani Lebok in terms of that cross kick pass. And that is perfectly timed, because by the time the ball gets to Chislin, he's able to grab it and step out of the way of the defender who overcommitted, who had to do that to try get man and ball. But because of the precise timing of that pass, which maybe there's no one else in the world who's able to quite do that, maybe Villy Leroux, we saw against Scotland. And then again at the end, it is Damien Allende like just bursting through 2 defenders and giving the pass, and Chislin doing what Chislin does with his magic feet. So there was a lot of individual brilliance. Those tries did not come much from a set piece or a set attacking ploy. In terms of the things that were set, those didn't go brilliantly. We didn't see our scrum come to the fore as much as we did the previous week and previously. The line out is a work in progress. It was clumsy. And we keep going to the 4-man line out, and I understand why. We're trying to get more numbers in terms of forwards in the attacking line. And I do say work in progress because I'm not yet ready to say we should absolutely scrap that. And maybe the guys who are playing with regards to Eben as well as Sneeman are not maybe the best in terms of calling lineouts. So when you do have a Mostert who's in there, who's a practitioner, quite of the highest level, right, in that regard. So when you do have him back, that maybe is going to look better. And also, as I'm saying, we're going to work on that 4-man line out where it does yield the fruit that we wanted to. But overall, not the greatest game from the Springboks, but we did get the result over the line. The final word I'll give to Andre Pollard. Pollard is that guy. He's just simply that guy, right? Because once again, Mani Lebok was struggling with the boot. Pollard comes in, and when you look at Pollard and you consider him, he's not the best at running the game. He's not the best defender. He doesn't have the greatest pace. You wouldn't categorize him as a magician or someone who absolutely makes the backline play. But when it's time to win a match, Pollard will do the things that are needed in order to win that match. You pointed out the fact that he came in and he was brilliant under the high ball. We're struggling with it. He comes in and he's able to get those balls, right? He's able to get the possession for us. And then when it's time to kick for poles, does not matter where he was kicking from. It was automatic. And when you consider Pollard maybe in games not of maybe the highest stature or it's crunch time, he reverts maybe back to a little normal, you know. But when he recognizes that we are in the end game and it's time to be clutch, oh man, he has ice in his veins and there's no one quite like him. So we are able to lean on the individual talents when the cohesiveness is not quite there as we'd like it to be. And that's a good thing, you know, that we do have superior talent to maybe the other teams that we play against. And ultimately, it is about winning, and the boys continue to win.